Hey there, guys! Welcome to the ultimate exploration of horror movies. Today, we're going to dive deep into the psychology behind our love for horror movies and what makes them so utterly captivating. Now, I know some of you might be wondering why on earth would someone want to watch a horror movie in the first place? Well, the answer is simple. It's because it's exciting. Fear and adrenaline are two of the primary factors that contribute to our attraction to horror movies. There's just something about the rush of adrenaline that comes with watching a good scare that keeps us coming back for more. But what is it specifically that makes us so hooked on this genre? Is it the suspense, the jump scares, or the feeling of being on edge throughout the entire movie? We're going to explore all of that and more throughout this video. So buckle up because things are about to get spooky. And before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on any of our future explorations. Now, let's take a look at some clips of some of the most popular horror movies to set the tone for the rest of this video. Now that we've explored some of the scariest horror movies of all time, let's dive into the science of fear. Fear is an evolutionary response that has helped humans survive for millennia. It's a natural instinct that's hardwired into our brains. When we're faced with a threat, our bodies automatically trigger the fight or flight response. This response is what helps us decide whether to confront the threat head-on or run away as fast as we can. But why do some of us love watching horror movies that scare us out of our wits? It all comes down to the adrenaline rush. When we're scared, our bodies release adrenaline, which is a hormone that prepares us for action. It increases our heart rate and blood flow, which makes us more alert and focused. This is the same hormone that athletes rely on to give them a boost during competitions. In fact, adrenaline is a big reason why we enjoy watching horror movies. It's a safe way for us to experience the rush of fear without actually putting ourselves in danger. When we watch a scary movie, our bodies react as if we're in a real-life threatening situation. We get that same rush of adrenaline that we would get if we were in a fight-or-flight situation. So the next time you're sitting on the edge of your seat watching a horror movie, remember that it's not just your imagination playing tricks on you. Your body is actually experiencing a physical reaction to the fear. And that's what makes horror movies so thrilling. From classics like The Exorcist to modern hits like Get Out, scary movies continue to entertain and terrify us. Now that we've talked about the origins of horror movies, let's dive into their evolution over time. From classic monster movies to the modern-day slasher, the horror genre has come a long way. One of the biggest changes in horror movies is the special effects. Gone are the days of cheesy rubber monster suits and fake blood. Now, filmmakers can create almost any creature or gore effect they can imagine with computer-generated imagery. Another big change is the emergence of subgenres within horror. There's the classic monster movie, the supernatural thriller, the psychological horror, and the slasher film, just to name a few. Each subgenre has its own unique elements that make it stand out from the rest. But what makes a horror movie truly effective? It's the ability to tap into our deepest fears and anxieties. Whether it's the fear of the unknown, or the fear of something lurking in the shadows, a good horror movie plays on our primal instincts. Some of the most popular horror movies of all time include classics like The Exorcist and Psycho, as well as modern hits like Get Out and Hereditary. These movies all have one thing in common. They're incredibly effective at scaring audiences. Let's take a look at how the genre has evolved over time. From the eerie atmosphere of Nosferatu to the jump scares of The Conjuring, horror movies have continued to innovate and terrify audiences. So whether you're a die-hard horror fan or just looking for a good scare, there's no denying the impact that horror movies have had on pop culture. And the genre shows no signs of slowing down anytime soon. Have you ever wondered why we love horror movies so much? It's not just the thrill of being scared. There are actually cultural factors that contribute to our obsession with the genre. One of these factors is the concept of catharsis. Catharsis is the process of releasing, and thereby providing relief from strong or repressed emotions. In the case of horror movies, we are able to confront our deepest fears in a safe environment. This allows us to experience a sense of release and relief from those fears. But it's not just about catharsis. Horror movies also provide a safe space for us to explore our fears. By watching characters on screen face their own fears and conquer them, we are able to gain a sense of empowerment and bravery. It's like we're living vicariously through the characters and learning from their experiences. Let's take a look at some popular horror movies that illustrate these points. The Exorcist deals with the fear of possession and the unknown. By watching the characters confront and overcome these fears, we are able to feel a sense of catharsis and relief. In A Quiet Place, the characters must navigate a world where making noise puts them in danger. By watching them survive and thrive in this world, we are able to explore our own fears of vulnerability and danger. So next time you're watching a horror movie, remember that it's not just about being scared. It's about confronting your fears, gaining a sense of empowerment, and experiencing a cathartic release. As we dive deeper into the world of horror movies, we wanted to hear from some experts in the field. So, we reached out to psychologists and film experts to get their take on why we are drawn to these films and what makes them so effective. Their insights were truly eye-opening and shed some light on the psychology behind our love for horror. One expert explained that horror movies tap into our primal fears, while another pointed out that they allow us to safely experience a range of emotions. These quotes and perspectives add an extra layer of depth to our exploration of horror. Alright, now that we've covered all the main points of this topic, let's bring it all together. We've talked about the benefits, the drawbacks, and some potential solutions. It's clear that there's no one-size-fits-all answer, but hopefully, you've gained some insight into the pros and cons of this issue. So what's the takeaway here? Well, it's important to consider all aspects of this topic before making any decisions. It's vital to weigh the benefits against the potential consequences and find a solution that works best for you and your situation. Before we wrap up, I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it informative and engaging. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. And don't forget to share this video with anyone who might find it helpful. Now, to end things on a lighter note, let's take a look at some bloopers from today's shoot. Insert funny blooper or outtake here. The joys of filming. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.